Welcome back to round number 3, again with Amulet Titan Karn. So, I'll just jump right into it. This is game 1, I won the die roll. I have a functional hand here. Now, I just want to point out this hand here. If this was a hive mind, this hand I don't think would be keepable. I mean, it's arguable because I do have lots of ramp, I just don't have many lands here. But you can see this hand, if I draw one more land, is at turn 3 Karn, which is pretty sweet, and that's what I said a little bit ago. I think Karn changes how this deck mulligans. So up against a Spire Bluff Canal with a Bolt, so I think it's Izzet Phoenix. I'll just lead off another Scout and be fine with that, because I can still turn 3 Karn if this Scout lives, and if I draw another land. Opponent taps out, I land Karn. I'm very happy about it. I dig for a Tormod's Crypt and play it immediately. Opponent casts Thing in the Ice, which makes me very happy that I have a EE in hand. I attempt to resolve Liquimetal Coating. I'm at 22 life. I'm not too concerned at the moment about the Thing in the Ice. Opponent casts Arclight Phoenix, kills Karn, makes me very sad. Hard to cast Arclight Phoenix, gets around my Tormod script. So I just cast a Coalition Relic and pass. Transmute Teleria West, I get a bounce land. Just trying to set up for a prime time. Okay, getting some beats down. Our opponent Surgical's Karn. I drop an Engineered Explosives on 4. And cast another Scout and pass my turn. Took me a little bit to think about doing that, but it is nice having the Tormod's Crypt in play with the EE on 4 here. Opponent attempts to set adrift the EE, which forces my action to blow it up right then. I made a little mistake there. I should have Tormod's Crypt in response to the Pyromancer Ascension. I didn't, which gives them an extra little out when they can cast something to put a counter on it. So I cast Primetime here. I'm at 7 life. And I really like the line I took here. I ended up just getting 2 bounce lands. I couldn't attack with Prime there. So what I wanted to do was put myself in the best situation to not die. If our opponent flips Thing in the Ice, I'm just dead at 7 life. So I grab 2 bounce lands. I bounce Radiant Fountain with the first trigger. I flash it into play. With the second trigger, I bounce it again and flash it back into play. Putting myself at 11 life and putting myself in a situation where, see, I made a mistake with the Tormod script. I should have done that before. Our opponent flips the Awoken Horror and hard casts a Phoenix, putting me down to exactly 1 life. I pin my Pact, which is a little rough, but I do draw an Amulet and get to cast Primetime. Again, with the Amulet in play, the math is a lot simpler, and I get to just give him haste. I replay the Radiant Fountain to gain some life. Play Azusa to replay the Radiant Fountain again, and then flash in the Secure Tribe Scout. So if I hadn't played Azusa there, I was dead because I was going to be at 3 life with an opponent with a Phoenix in play. So opponent, because I made that mistake, they do have 2 counters on the Pyromancer Ascension and are able to kill the Primetime. They swing in with an Arclight Phoenix, which I can't block, and I cast Primetime. And win the game. If you notice, I have exactly lethal here. They have to block the prime time. And that is 8 right there. And there's 1 to carry over. So that was game 1. Oop, that was against Teston. Here's game 2. So I sided out some scouts, Coalition Relic, and Ghost Quarter, sided in Engineered Explosives and Dismembers. Turn 1, opponent spell pierces the Amulet, which makes his hand look a little bit worse. I bounce a Gemstone Mine. Just trying to set up a turn 4 Karn, but opponent's got Blood Moon, which makes his hand look pretty awkward. The good news is that Dismember can be cast under Blood Moon, which makes me pretty happy about that. The bad news is double Manamorphose makes his hand look a little awkward. So I kill the Crackling Drake, display another land, and pass. I play Karn, but opponent has the counter spell. Ceremonious Rejection has gotten really good against Amulet Titan with the inclusion of Karn, because now a lot of her answers with Dismember, a lot of her answers with Engineered Explosives, and a lot of her threats like Amulet already got hit by it, but it was still kind of a weak card against us. Now, however, with Karn, a lot of her package just gets hit by Ceremonious Rejection. So I just get run over by an Awoken Horror, and Karn is a little bit too little too late. Blood Moon definitely did some damage there. It's possible I should not have played the bounce land on turn 2. In fact, looking back, I should not have played the bounce land on turn 2. So I keep a slow hand here, but it's got double Amulet. Again, this hand will lose to Blood Moon, but Ancient Stirrings kind of can protect that a little bit. I play the bounce land here, so I'll have green mana for Scout next turn. And I get a little cute with the Teleria West and Dismember the Thing in the Ice. Opponent tries to Spell Pierce my Stirrings, but I pay it and just play another bounce land. Normally, if they hadn't destroyed my Amulet, I would have pacted for a Prime right there, but that didn't do anything. I just grabbed Karn grabs a Worm Coil Engine, which can hopefully gain me some life and put me out of this bad spot. Opponent's just going face here. I'm just going to cast a Ballista just to protect myself from the Arclight Phoenix beating down and put myself in a spot where I can cast either Worm Coil or Prime Time next turn. Opponent is looting vigorously. And I very much so care about that 3 life, so I basically use Walking Ballista just to gain 3 life. And we all know that Prime Time is better than Worm Coil, so I cast the Prime instead. And try to put myself in the best possible spot to not die, which is Radiant Fountain and Bojuka Bog. I also made sure I had double Forest in play, so in case we get Blood Mooned, I would not be locked out of the game. And opponent concedes here. They have 2 cards in hand. They know I have a Worm Coil and an Engineered Explosives. I can cast either. I was going to cast the Engineered Explosives and blow up their Thing in the Ice, and then follow that up with Worm Coil and then just kill them with a Prime. So that was the match against Izzet Phoenix. You can see how Dismember works pretty well even through Blood Moon, and you can even see here we actually wouldn't have had access to white mana, although this probably would have been, that would have been a white source. So could be our Crossroads if we're in the white version. But I do like the Radiant Fountain with Karn. I think having untapped lands is more important when you're trying to cast 4 drops. So that is round number 3. I'll see you in the next one.